Life throws you punches. Trauma, life, and burnout. I've lived through it all, and I've built something for the fighters that refuse to stay down. If you're ready to stop playing small and own your story, then this is where you belong. The Unstoppable Network is where the overcoming stories are getting very loud. From veterans to survivors to trailblazers, sharing their story of turning their pain into power. Welcome to the Unstoppable Network, where we turn your mess into a message. Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Network. I'm your host, Dorothy O'Dell, and I have the distinct privilege of bringing back Jeffrey Knight to the show. Welcome, Mr. Knight. How are you?
Good. How are you, Dorothy?
I'm amazing. You know, our conversations are always rich, and I love having you back. So
appreciate being here.
Especially after the holidays, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
So we're here to talk today about a special, I talk about Angels 14 all the time. I never shut my mouth about it. And some people might be sick of it, but that's okay. I don't care. I will continue on this mission. So Jeffrey is one of the 3 founding members of Angels 14. So in your words, Jeff, can you describe what Angels 14 is?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on. And yeah, absolutely. So Angels 14 was born out of a look at the current, the then and current situation where we have veterans, too many veterans out there committing suicide. And obviously that's where this was born out of. So myself and Dave DeQueljo, a Navy veteran, myself an Army veteran. So go figure how that works. Got together and said, hey, what can we do? How can we do something? It doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be anything. And so what came out of that is, hey, let's just start a weekly call that's open to, veterans, allies, anybody really, to provide a space for people to come to and just be themselves. Not have to worry about, hey, do I throw out an F word here, or I talk about something that I'm vulnerable with, or I just want to vent. Because that is what has helped and can help other people just to be themselves, which we all can't always do every day in our life. And so that was what this was born out of. That's what it was. It grew for a little bit, and then it kind of got a little bit smaller, and now we're trying to grow it a little bit more. But ultimately, it doesn't matter about the growth. It's about camaraderie, community, and connection. And the growth piece is just getting more people to know that these resources are out there, and that there are things. And we're not an organization. We're not a profit, nonprofit. We're nothing. We're just a weekly phone call every Fridays at 12 Eastern that we hop on and we just talk about whatever. And that's really what it's about. It's just getting together, and many, many veterans and other people too, but veterans specifically, when we leave the military, transition out, we lose that camaraderie, we lose that connection, and we don't have the community anymore that we were used to. And so that's where this comes from. And so you've been a part of it now for 4 years?
I think I've been with you for 3 years.
Okay.
I started in the veteran space. Well, I've been in my own life, but I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. But I would say the last 4 years, it started with Greg Bicknell. Being on our Unstoppable Overcomer show, which eventually led me. Actually, Melody is the one that introduced me to Greg, got the ball rolling, and I was on Greg's board for his nonprofit for veterans for 2 or 3 years, helping or trying to help that organization. It was Camaraderie Rescue Mission at one point, and then it changed to Heroes, Badges, and Warriors.
Yep.
or was it something about barbecue? I don't know. I know he really loved barbecue.
Now it's barbecue. So
Now
it's kind of transitioning to that, which it never fails that Greg Bicknell comes up in conversation. So shout out to you, Greg.
exactly. I actually met him in person when I was in Florida 2 years ago. I was in. They flew me down to Florida so I can finally meet some of my veterans down there. That trip was actually mind blowing. And so yeah, and when I first started with Angels 14, I was kind of hesitant because I'm just like, oh man, like I'm a civilian. These guys are veterans. I know that most allies are not. I know civilians are not. They don't trust the veterans. Really don't trust civilians all that well, and I can understand why. And so I'm like, how the hell is this going to look like? Like, what should I even be here? Um, and I have to say that this organization has saved me a lot on a lot of my bad days that I had over the last 3 years. And the growth though in some of the veterans, and I won't say any names, but one of the veterans specifically, when I first started, he wouldn't even come on camera. And he was like in a deep dark place, and now that veteran is thriving and has a thriving business and is just like, it's unheard of to see the magnitude, and that's all just through camaraderie and connection and just having those conversations weekly of saying, hey man, don't give up. And I I have to share a post because this post is what it started with a conversation this past Friday, and ultimately why I decided, hey, we need to have this conversation today. So one of my Canadian veterans, Chad Kennedy, he walks Canada C2C for PTSD. That's his own organization. And this post, it says, as we come to a close for the year end, I wish to acknowledge the lives lost this time of year. Sergeant Andrew Harnett, Calgary Police Service, on duty death via shitbags. Yes, Chad is colorful, and we love Chad. And
We do.
a friend, sister, and C2C team member who lost her battle to her demons. Life is precious, peeps. Please remind your loved ones that they are loved. So he posted this December 30th of 2025. I didn't see it till New Year's Eve morning. And when I saw that, it was like the first time Greg told me that 22 veterans a day died by suicide. And I said, not on my watch. And I know the numbers, in fact, tripled that same year. And I probably again, and I'm like, I had this sense of like, what the fuck? Because for 4 years, I've had this mission, help in any way capacity that I personally can, or network to different people. So if I know that this veteran needs something and I have a service, I could just say, hey, just go talk to this person here. And so I thought, after 4 years, seeing this post on New Year's morning was disheartening for me. I'm like, what the hell? Like, why are we still seeing this? And it, number one, kind of pissed me off. And number two, it kind of reinforced why I do what I do and why I'm tapped into Angels 14. And I thought, how can we help these men and women, but also not reinventing the wheel? And it always comes back to Angels 14. And so I'm here to help Jeff, whether we help one person, that, like you said, whether it's one person on the call or whether it's 100 people on the call or 1,000 people on the call, which I hope to see in our lifetime. That it's not about how many people are there. It's about the lives that we save. Mm-hmm. And like I said about that veteran that I met like 3 years ago on Angels 14. And I know, because we had a little bit of this conversation off air, we all go through these moments where life gets dark and, we want to end it. And it's not easy to always reach out, but it is simple enough to get on a call one day a week and say, hey, here I am. And you don't have to show your face. You could just listen to the camaraderie that we do have, and the bitching back and forth that we do have. It's not bitching. It's we all make fun of each other, and
Yep.
it's exactly what's needed that comes out. And so I'm gonna shut up because I said way too much. So Jeff, you
So you said, you said some things there that really strike home. So part of it is that it's just one, right? So whether it's not, when I talked about growth, it wasn't like growth where we need to have this huge following and doing all these things, but the growth there is the growth in terms of the more people knowing it, that it's there, that it's a resource that they can tap into. And we've had people, it's just 2020. Yeah. So we're going on the 6th year. So it was October of 2020 that we started this. There's some debate, August or October of 2020, but let's just say 2020. So going on 6 years of this, where we have the phone call, and very few times, I want to say we've only missed out of the 6 years 4 Fridays, 4 or 5 maybe, that somebody wasn't on. And that's due to the community that we have. And, Michael Parker of Devil Dog Canine, who's a great ally of ours. It's his link that we use, and he's Johnny on the spot. Every Friday, he opens that thing up. Even when I can't be there, he opens it up. The last couple of weeks during the holidays, nobody showed up, but he was still there. And that's the point. We open up the space. If nobody's there, not a big deal. We shut it down after 10 minutes. But it's there in case somebody needs to drop in and say, hey, I'm struggling. Or, hey, I really needed to have this time to, talk about nonsense. And sometimes that's what it is. It's complete nonsense, which is kind of a hallmark of military personnel. We go places, we do training, we do all those things, and we don't have anything. If we're not training and we're just in the, we're in our bunk, it's kind of like, well, what do we do? We don't, all that stuff. So that's really what this is all about. And it's really, we don't come to get anything. We just show up to give.
Right.
And that's the whole purpose of it, is to give and not expect anything in return, and simply be there for other people. And people can talk as much as they want or they don't. It's what goes on in Angels 14 stays in Angels 14. We don't record it, and we do that for a reason, so that there's no, everybody's free to speak. So to me, it's so impactful, and there's been so many stories that have come out of this in the last 5.5 years that are just unbelievable. And one of those is that we had an Angels 14 member that had a service member that was in Michigan, was homeless. And estranged from his family, needed to get down to Phoenix, and through Angels 14, that individual, I contacted somebody else in Angels 14 that I knew lived there, and said, hey, do we have any resources? Do we have anything there? This Angels 14 member stood up and said, hey, Jeff, I'll go and pick him up from the airport. And she did. She went, picked him up from the airport. He didn't have any money. She even paid for a weekend of hotel for him and provided him with resources. Now, if that's not impact, I don't know what is. And that was just a few phone calls. That's it. And that was because we had a member that had been to one of our shows, and the member had come regularly, dropped off, then came back again. So, and we don't care if you show up or not. If you go away for 5 months and you come back, we'll welcome you with open arms. It's no pressure, none of that. So that just kind of tells you where, what that community can do, and what people are willing to do if we just come together.
Right. And I love that. I say it every week. It's the best hour of my week. And it truly is, because nowhere else can you be 100% yourself and not get any flack for it, and then nobody hold it against you.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And you can say shit. Like, if you're having a bad day and you feel like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing this for. Like, there's somebody there to like pull you out of that. Um, and I have several times on that call been the one that has just like, listen, I don't know what my next step is going to be because I just don't even know if I can see the forest through the trees. And that's just me as an ally. And it didn't matter that I hadn't served. I have family that have. And when I started the show, I've been in this work for my lifetime. I forgot that, hello, I grew up in the Canadian Legion. Every Friday we'd go have a drink with grandpa, fish dinners, things like that. He was past president of the Kingsville branch. My dad, was too. My brother was cadets. My uncle served. My great grandfather served. All of this, I mean, I remembered it, but it's not like I put two and two together that, wait a minute, back when I was 20, I should have started doing what I'm doing today. And we could should all I want, but it doesn't matter. I'm here now, serving at a different capacity. And so Angels 14 is just one of those groups that says it doesn't matter who you are, just come along. And what I find so interesting, well, because I'm a storyteller and I take people's stories and that's why we're here. Jeff and I had this brainwave after the call on Friday to let's have maybe once a month, I think is what we'll start. I think we agreed on having somebody share their story. And because we had a tremendous lady on the show, like she's a Gold Star mom. Holly has been on the show a couple times as well. And, just sharing from her heart about her son, Danny. And so we thought, what a great way is like maybe once a month, have a speaker. And then, but only have the speaker talk for 30 minutes so that if anybody still needs something, we can still serve those people. And so I'm excited about that because now I can take all these contacts that have been on the show and say, hey, Jeff, pick which one you want. Let's have them on so that we can also help veterans in a different way. Yeah, it's great to be there when they need it. But, let's sometimes hearing someone's story of what you've gone through and you haven't talked to about it with anybody else, hearing their perspective and their story also helps you in some moments as well.
And absolutely. And so I'm excited about this too. We have done this in the past, and where we've had guest speakers come on, but it's never been, we never really like formalized anything. But that's the thing about Angels 14. It's not formal. There's no real agenda. There's no, we're not behind the scenes going, hey, we got to market it this way, or we got to do it this, or any of that. It's just a phone call. It's a Zoom. And so for me, it's kind of like, okay, how do we, going back to your effort moment, right? That you had at the beginning of the year, and hey, what are we doing? So how can we, you stepped up and said, hey, Jeff, I'm going to promote the shit out of this because, this is, we need to do better. And I'm all for it. Absolutely all for it. I'll take all the help I can get. And actually, trying to drive that impact. But your point on storytelling is so huge. One, for the story itself, and for people to know that they're not alone. They're going to hear something somewhere. And in the call yesterday we had, I heard something in that story when Holly was talking to us about it. I heard something in there that resonated with me because I had some of that same feeling. And so we were able to talk about this and that's what draws people out, is the storytelling. It's like, oh, this person's sharing this. Oh, somebody else feels this way. Okay, I don't feel that stupid. And that is the point. The message is so important that we're in this together. So having those people on, drawing out the story, and they're going to be, whoever we get is going to be fantastic. And whether or not 100 people show up or 5, doesn't matter. It's who's there and who's listening, and the actual story getting out. So, and understanding it. So as we move forward with this, yeah, we don't put our link out for just anybody. It goes through right now. It goes through myself, you, Dorothy, and Michael Parker. So, and we do it that for a reason. Obviously, we don't need some salesman coming on and trying to pitch something or anything like that. That's not what we're about. It's simply on that. So that the link we can send that to you, to anybody that's interested, that just wants to show up, be a part of the community, and really just help others. That's all it's about. It's just helping others. And so hopefully this, having some speakers on and having a little bit more formality, not too much, because that's where we lose our authenticity. But hopefully that will get some more people to come on, or at least understand who we are, what we're trying to do, and spread that word for whoever needs to, because you just don't know who might need it or who might did it. I invited a couple of people yesterday. They didn't show up. We all have, but they didn't show up, but that's okay because they still know we're there.
Yeah. I'm having the Angels 14 LinkedIn profile across the bottom here. So, if they want the link, they can definitely click on that, message or message you, like you said, directly. And anybody listening to this episode, if you want to send me an email at grahamdorothy408@gmail.com, I can just send you that link too. But like you said, we don't want just anybody, because I know what this community is about, and there is no way in hell I would want anybody to come in and disrupt what Jeff and Dave have put together here, and to potentially hurt any of the veterans that are there. Right? That's not who we are. That's not who I am. And it's all about helping. So if we're not, we give in that capacity, but we also take in it as well, as because anybody who shares something, we all learn from it. And I would never ever want to introduce somebody in that space to somebody that I didn't personally know and approved, right? So
yeah, and with that too, and it's not a matter of excluding anyone. That's not what it's about. It's about just making sure. And in this world today, we never know who's out there, who's trying to come in for nefarious reasons. Nefarious, there's the word of the day. Or anything else that would do that. But but if somebody shows up and they're angry, they're mad, they're struggling through something, and comes in and we're invited there. There's been countless times on that call, where that 1 hour call that we do, 12 to 1 Eastern every Friday, and that we have focused the entire hour on that one individual because they needed the help. And there hasn't been anybody, and it could be just, they don't want to hurt my feelings or anybody else's, but nobody's come back to me and said, hey, that sucks, Jeff. There are people that said, hey, I'm rumbling through that because there were a few things that were said on there that I didn't agree with. And I'm like, that's okay. It's don't feel that you have to agree with everything that's said on there. Because that's what makes us stronger. The difference in thinking, and we have some other members that you can tell. Obviously, we have different members of different views on life, politics, worldview, etc.
mm-hmm.
That it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we differ. It's simply working through those, and we can have a conversation about it without it blowing up into some stupid whatever. And so that's the beauty of it.
As long as we respect each other, we don't have to have the same opinion, right?
Absolutely.
And that is what Angels 14 is all about. It's respecting your opinion. You don't have to like it, but you just respect that person.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure there's things that I don't agree with that Jeff believes, and vice versa. That doesn't mean that I don't love him and I'm not gonna, not gonna respect him on that. So, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, and if that becomes an issue, obviously that's something that that we would deal with, and it's not something that I hate to say we don't tolerate it, but when it becomes to that point, it just is not productive anymore. And so that's not what we're about. It's simply, so if somebody's coming in, hey, just come in, see what it is. If it's not for you, it's not for you. It's not a big deal. We don't, it doesn't matter if you come in and it's not your thing. It's not joining anything. It's none of that. It's the space. That's all it is. And that's all we're doing. That's really the only thing we're doing, is providing a space and letting the wisdom of the crowd help other people. That's it.
Well, and when you have a crayon reader and an army brat in the same group, you never know what's going to be said.
Yep, that's true. We love our Marines. But we also like to give them a lot of shit. But that's the other thing that a lot of people, we have Navy, we've even had Coast Guard, Army, Air Force, all of those, and it is that camaraderie piece that we give each other shit for our branches, but that's a part of the banter. That's the part of the fun, and it's part of what we lose when we leave. And in the services themselves, it's like, oh, you're a supply person. Oh, okay, so I see where you're in the rear with the gear. But that's just friendly banter, because that supply person is just as important as the person kicking down the door, because the person kicking down the door can't get their supplies and what they need to kick down the door unless that supply person is there. So we talked about this before, Dorothy, and nobody is just a just. And because they're not, doesn't matter what you did, doesn't matter if you served 1 day or 30 years, you signed on the dotted line. Right. You signed on the dotted line to say, hey, I will sacrifice my life in the service of others. And for the veteran community out there, that's such an important point. I've had my own struggles with that, hey, I did not see combat. I'm very open about that. And I don't claim to, and I would never do that. At the same time, that doesn't diminish my service. That's right. It doesn't diminish my service because I was a full-time Army Reserve versus an active component person. And so those are the types of things too, that it's encouragement. It's learning that courage and vulnerability and empathy and understanding. And that's what that's what we're about, is a part of our everyday life and fabric.
I love that. Yes, we catch each other on that just thing quite a bit.
We do, and we say it all the time.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I'll put that into an email, and it's not about me. It's just when I just just reaching out to do this, and it's like, okay, I don't like that word, but it is useful, right? It is the English language, and it is useful in those terms. But when it comes to impact and what you've done, nobody's just a just, and it's one of those things where just yesterday, and I try to make this a habit, is the folks that clean our facilities. They're there every day, picking up. It's just yesterday I told her, I said, hey, thank you for what you do. Yeah. Because that is an important position. It's hugely important. It allows us to do the things that we do. And that's part of that. That's part of that. Nobody's just a just. Nobody's less than anybody else. Mm-hmm. They might have more accomplishments or whatever it is, but that doesn't make them any less. That doesn't make the other person any less than they are. Right. And so that space, Angels 14, is a part of that space too. It's like, hey, we're all the same. We do talk about rank a little bit, but usually that is because I'm getting crap because I went to the dark side of being an officer. And that usually comes from the Marine that we have on every week, Michael Parker. But other than that, it's not ranked. It's not based on anything. It's just us.
Right. I have this saying that if you treat the janitor any different than you treat the CEO, that's your problem.
That's exactly right. It's exactly right. And I didn't say, and I didn't say that to brag at, hey, look what I did. It was just to point out that when we recognize others, it brings them forward.
Absolutely. No, and I know that you didn't. I know who you are. I know you would never say that. I just, for people out there that are listening, because I've heard a lot of stuff in my almost 50 years on this planet, and I there's something inside of me at an injustice, or when somebody's bullied or belittled, like there's something inside of my soul that just comes out like a beast. And it doesn't matter who you are. Like, I don't even have to know you. That's why I was limiting my time on social media, because I see so much shit on there that infuriates me to the point where it could ruin my whole day if I let it, right? And so I'm being very intentional now on what I watch, what I listen to, what I read, things like that, because I am just that person. Like, I'm a mama bear. Don't come after me. Don't come after my family. Or what's the saying? You can come after me, but don't come after my family. Don't come after the people that I love. That includes my veteran communities. There's more than one that I'm involved in, and I would love, 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 love to see uh, Canadian and the U.S. together in one room. Like,
Be
I'm
awesome.
working on it. I'm working on it. I asked Chad to join us on Friday, but he couldn't. He's busy trying to get the next walk up and going. But and this is how committed I am to my veterans. One of them says, "Hey, you want to join the Hope Coalition?" And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute," because I had this other thing that I was doing with Hope in it, and I'm like, "Sure, I'll join the Hope Coalition because I know it's helping the veteran community. I don't know what it is that we're doing." I just know that if I said yes, because God said say yes, and so I did, and I wanted him to talk a little bit about that. And so when I know more, I'll let you know. I just know that it's about, helping others, and that's what my life has always been about, for the most part. I'm not going to say that there are days that I like it's tiring and you just need a break from it. And
Absolutely.
but I think, working in the mental health space and hearing people's stories, that you really have to have a lot of self-care. And that's what I love so much about Carrie Stewart, one of our yoga master, who has actually taught me about mindfulness, meditation, and um, finding yourself. It's just like, who are you as a person and what do you want? I don't know. Like, I know what I don't want, but do I know what I do want? And so it's very helpful, uh, when
It,
you
it's so
take care of.
it's so helpful, and that's that connection. I met so many cool people doing different things because of Angels 14. It's just that I would not have met anywhere else. I might have seen them on LinkedIn or whatever else, but I would not have a connection with them. And Carrie Stewart's one of those. Well, all of our members are, because I mean we have the yoga masters, we have chakra folks that have been on, we have the workshop, the leadership development, the Empowered Heart is another organization, and Agnes Chow, that she's a part of Angels 14. And I'd be remiss that was actually the individual, Agnes Chow, who was that person in Phoenix that assisted that veteran, which is just a beautiful story, and it's one that needs to be told. So hopefully she doesn't mind me shouting that out. And if I do, if she does, then she'll probably contact me. But that's really, it's just really neat people. It's people that just want to give. They just want to help. And that's what we need today in this world. We're so divided. Well, the media will have you think that we're so divided.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't know that we're as divided as we think we are. And besides that division or that difference is what makes us better.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's about bringing it to the table to respectfully discuss and or talk about the issues and talk about these things. And that's what we try to do in Angels 14. There are people that will very freely say, this is what my thoughts are on that. Then there are others that are like, they won't say that, or they're with others that say, no, wait a minute. However, at the end of the day, we're still saying, hey, love everybody. We'll see you.
Yeah.
And again, that's what we're all about. And I love that you're part of the Hope Coalition, but not quite sure what you're doing. But it's one of those things that, again, it's your giving heart. It's your empathy for the veterans. That's beautiful.
I think it's kind of like what we're doing here at Angels 14, but taking it to a level of taking it to a different level where there's different organizations, with that are all veteran based, but making people aware of them, and just creating a larger impact under one umbrella.
Mhm.
And so, like, I don't know about you, but collaboration to me is king. And I wouldn't have gotten this far where I am without, collaboration of everybody involved. I mean, I wouldn't have, I don't know what, I quit focusing on the number of episodes and I just put them out. I don't even number them anymore. But I know there's over 500 episodes that we have done, and I couldn't have done those 500 episodes without guests, right? Or, different networking that I have done to at least talk about different organizations on here. So I think the Hope Coalition is bringing these forces together. And so, and I could be wrong.
And we're sorry, Hope Coalition, if there was any misrepresentation there. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
I think it's and that's and it's what's needed too.
Right.
And it's very and there's so many underserved folks out there, to veterans, and there's so many resources out there that it gets confusing and nobody knows about them, or it just gets lost in everything else that's out there. So the more attention that can be brought to these, the better off. Will it work for everybody? No.
Right.
At the same time, they're there to try, and which is exactly what you're doing. I mean, the work you're doing, the Unstoppable Overcomers, and the where you give, Dorothy, is one of those things that is a perfect example of who Angels 14 is.
One of our amazing members of Angels 14, though, had given me a printed out list, a typed out list of quite a few organizations for veterans. So with his permission, I took that list and I put it on my website. So, and there are some Canadian resources as well as US resources on there. So just go to www.unstoppableovercomers.com, go to the tab that says veteran resources, and there has got to be at least 100 on there. And if you are a veteran organization that would like to have your name added, send me an email and we'll have a conversation about it. But these were vetted by Paul. What the heck is Paul's name?
Paul, we apologize. It's slipping my mind. I know him as the super spy.
Yes. I'm not the only one. But anyways, this guy is like diplomatic intelligence. So that whatever these resources are, that they're legit, because he wouldn't put anything out there that wasn't. I want to say Davis, but that doesn't seem right. No. Paul. I'm sorry, Paul Curtis.
There you go. Yeah, thank you. Paul Curtis, that is no disrespect. We love you, because we do.
Him, but I'm great with faces, but not names. I apologize, Paul.
Yeah. He's a fantastic. He and his wife are fantastic people.
He is like a grandfather to me. That man is just so amazing. And if you didn't watch his episode, you have to go back to the Unstoppable, go to our YouTube channel, go back and just type in Paul Curtis. I'm telling you, that man, we learned so many things from him, because Jeff was on that. Michael Parker was on that episode, because I think it was around Veterans Day or something like that we did it.
It was.
And he thought you guys thought it was just to honor him, and he thought it was to honor you guys. So I pulled a prank, and it was to honor everybody, but I wanted Paul to share his story. Paul is in his 80s, and this man has seen and done things that I don't think anybody will ever in their lifetime.
Yep.
And he's just such a sweetheart. He's got a heart of gold. So yeah, thanks to Paul, I had that list of resources and put it up there on the website. So if anybody needs anything, please go please go check it out. But I am willing to, once I have a conversation and that your organization, I'm willing to put it up there as well to add to the list.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, my friend. I can't believe we're almost at 40 minutes.
I know.
Like we could probably talk forever, but we both have a life. And so thank you so much for coming on. Is there any last words that you want to say, Jeff, before we wrap this up?
You know, whether you come to Angels, whether anybody comes to Angels 14 or not is a complete choice that they make. You can check us out, but again, it's find what works for you. Find something to connect to find that community, and actually rumble through the things that you need to rumble through. Whether that's something like the Angels 14, whether it's something like this, whether it's a friend, a long lost friend, whatever it is, find that connection somewhere, because that's going to provide the spark to help us all move forward and get out of the dark if that's where we're at. And I encourage everybody, you're not alone. It's one of those things that it's like, I'm with you, Dorothy. It's like, what the is going on? And let's again, that's what we provide. And help do your own call, do your own thing, and provide that space if that's what it is. The more the merrier. The more people talking, the better. And I truly appreciate you having me on again to do this, and kind of joining the family a little bit more and helping out. Because this media platform helps out Angels 14, not as an organization, but as making it known to people that they can come on, be themselves, and we can move forward together.
Absolutely. I love that. Remember, guys, Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Come for the camaraderie, connection, and conversations. You're always welcome. And give Jeff, myself, or Michael Parker either call if you know our cell phones, and if not, send us an email or message on our social media pages. And we'd be happy to assist you in getting onto these calls and helping you any way that we possibly can. With that, be unstoppable in all that you do. And remember, same time, same channel next week. Subscribe to our channel and share with your network. Much love. Bye for now.
See ya.